Okay, this is not a diss video, but I want to talk about separating the ego. I had an interaction not too long ago on a ladies live, an older individual that claims to be spiritual, maybe blessed with certain spiritual abilities. They got triggered, they got irate, they got angry with me, all because I brought up the concept of timeline jumping. And I had brought up the possibility that Kamala could have won the presidency, but we shifted timelines. My message, my comments got completely misconstrued. It got lost in translation, like I was talking to someone of a limited mind of understanding. When I said that, they took it as, oh, you thought she was supposed to win. She wasn't supposed to win, blah, blah, blah. You see, when you're in the spiritual community, you're still going to run into people who still have their ego. You're still going to run into people who think they are arrogant or think they are above you. You're not supposed to do that. It doesn't matter if you're a 9 ether, a 10 ether, 11, 12, 8, 6, 7, doesn't matter. If you're spiritual, and it doesn't matter if you're a star seed or not, if you're truly spiritual, you can't let what people say trigger you. You can't let what people say get to you. You can't let people make you angry. I wasn't trolling. I wasn't trying to trigger her. I was just trying to see if she ever thought about timeline jumping. You see, people will shame you and try to ridicule you, or they'll try to make you feel small, just because you bring up something that they don't understand. When you bring up something they cannot comprehend, when you bring up something that doesn't click in their brain because they're not advanced yet, or they're not at a certain consciousness level, they get triggered with you, then that goes to show you that their ego is still very much in control. I didn't say anything hurtful to that woman. I didn't say anything troll-like to her. Wasn't trying to troll. I wasn't trying to trigger. I get treated a certain way just because I bring up a certain concept. That's how you know that people that's walking this spiritual walk, they're not doing all the work that they need to do. They still have not done the shadow work. They still haven't went through an ego death. They didn't separate the ego yet. They are still operating on a limited capacity. Whatever they say, what downloads they get is not from above. It's not from the cosmos. It's still from below the firmament. It's still from this plane. And even now, when I'm making this video, I'm not saying this to sound better or to sound more intelligent than the next person. I'm just basing this off my own experiences. And like the last video I made before, signs that you can find somebody who's very new to this spiritual journey, or who's very new into spirituality as a whole. Talk to them about certain things and see if they still get triggered. No one who's truly spiritual is supposed to get triggered. You're supposed to be operating out of a whole 720 degrees of knowledge. And most in the spiritual community is getting to that, or they haven't got to that, or they refuse to get to that because they're not doing the work. They're not doing the work from within. They might still be operating out of 360 degrees of knowledge. And this is one more topic I want to bring up before I end this video off. Her and many others like her are one of the reasons why we fell so hard in vibration and frequency. For some reason, Our melanated people are one of the main ones that will shame fellows or other fellas or other sisters or brothers of our same race just because that person may have a lower social standing, a lower social media following. They may be of a lower echelon in the society, and the person that put themselves on the pedestal may have more status, more money, more of a following, and they may get into an arrogant ego trip just because they may feel like they're being threatened or challenged by somebody who is of a lower status than them. You're not supposed to do that either. You see, in this 3D matrix, doesn't matter if it's in social media, doesn't matter if it's money. All this shit can be taken away in an instant. None of it is absolute. None of it is. And for people to put so much power and to put so much authority and so much importance over, oh, this person doesn't have as many followers than me, they can't talk to me like that, I'm gonna get triggered, I'm gonna get mad, I'm just going to block them. Not even thinking or wanting to hear their side of the story. It goes to show that even people in the spiritual community, they still think in a 3D way. They're still operating and acting like cogs in the machine. They're still thinking and operating like someone who hasn't casted away all of the societal programming that was brought on them through childhood and through adolescence. I don't want to say people like that make me sick. It just, seeing people like that, doesn't matter if they're older than me, younger than me, different gender, same gender. It does not matter. They disappoint me. They really disappoint me. No one a part of the spiritual community should talk like they are all knowing. No one in the spiritual community should talk like they got to stick up their ass or they got their head up their own ass. It really shows that people will get to a certain point on this journey without doing the work and think they are better than everyone just because they are blessed with certain spiritual abilities to where they can read people, or they think they got a certain amount of intuition to where they think they know everything that goes on, when clearly they don't.